Unit 1st, Library Information and Society Concept. Introduction. The information and knowledge are the driving factors in the development of society. The human is the most intelligent among all categories of living world. It gathers the information and converts them into knowledge and further use it to improve the living standard of the people. The need of desire are the two motivating factors for acquiring knowledge since the inception of the society. Initially, the knowledge used to be preserved and transferred through oral traditions. When the volume of knowledge grew, people invented the mechanism of recording them through writing. The organized set of such records called documents. The society continued to develop and accordingly the volume of knowledge grew. Due to such development, different civilizations emerged. With the advent of civilization, different organizations as educational, political, administrative, cultural, religious, social, etc. were established. This organizational approach of the society increased the intellectual activities of the human being. The milestone was achieved in the history of preservation and dissemination of information and knowledge by the invention of printing technology. Because of all these developments, the quest for knowledge and to disseminate as well as to preserve them for the next generation, the concept of library emerged and got institutionalized. Definition, objectives, purpose and role of library in the development of modern society. Definition of library. The word library means in English a collection of books gathered for study, research, reference and recreation. It is being perceived that it has derived from the Latin word liber, which means a book. A definition of library has changed as its functions have changed since its inception. Let's see some of the definition provided by different reference sources and the scholars of library and information science. The Oxford Dictionary defines library as a building or a room containing collection of books, periodicals and sometimes films and recorded music for using or borrowing by the public or the member of an institutions. The Merriam-Webster's dictionary says that a place in which literary, musical, artistic or reference material as a book, manuscripts, recording or films are kept for use but not for sale. The Oxford Campaigning to the English language say that the library is a collection of books, periodicals and or other materials primarily written and printed. The Herald Librarian's Glossary and Reference Book explains library as a collection of books and other literary materials kept for reading, study and consultation. A place, building, room or room set apart for the keeping and use of collection of book, etc. A number of books issued by one publisher under the comprehensive title as the Loeb Classical Library and usually having some general characteristics such as subject, binding or typography. A collection of films, photographs and other non-book materials plastic or metal tapes, discs, and programs. The observation of definition provided above make us understand a library as a physical space such as building, part of a building, room or rooms, or such a place having a collection of intellectual or literary outputs of society such as manuscripts, books, periodicals, newspapers, pamphlets, written or printed records, tape, artifacts, or any literary and artistic materials for reading, reference, or lending purpose. Initially, the library was considered as a storehouse of books. The main function of library was to preserve the human thoughts and knowledge of the society. The use and the utilization factors of those preserved knowledge was not evident from, but as a society advanced, the use of the knowledge preserved in the library become more prominent. Hence, the definition given by S.R. Ranganathan, a father of library science in India, is more appropriate from the perspective of use of the library materials and their preservation. The Ranganathan says a library is a public institution or establishment charged with the care of collection of books and the duty of making them accessible to those who require to use them. Here, the term book symbolizes the library collection, which may be book, periodicals, or any other materials kept in library. Purpose of library. The definition of library given by Ranganathan make us understand the status of library in the society. He designate the library as a public institutions. This status itself sets goal and objective for the library. Being public institutions, it has a responsibility to serve the public without any reservation or biasness. Further, he says the care of collection of book, which refers to the organization, maintenance, and preservation aspects of the library material. So, it can serve the society or community for longer period. The final and the most important factor in his definition is making them accessible. This aspect of the definition of library set agenda to provide service to the society. The collection of library should be made available to the public for use or consultation whosoever and whenever required by them. Hence, the purpose of library is to serve the society through the records of human thoughts, ideas, and expression by making them available as and when required by the member of society, as well as preserve them for the coming generation, as those records are the intellectual wealth of the society. Next part is function of library. As the society develops, the responsibility of the library as grew. The function of the library in the modern society fall into two categories, namely preservation of the intellectual heritage of the society in the form of literary work, which are being termed as information sources, and make this literary work accessible to the people of the society. On the parameter of these two categories, the function of library can be illustrated as to collect and maintain and make available the information sources to the people of the society to help them to make them aware of available literature and to think and act independently. Foster and promote the dissemination of information, education, and cultural heritage to promote enlighten the citizenship and to enrich personal life. Provide opportunity and facility for formal and informal lifelong self-education to the member of community irrespective of age, caste, creed, color, gender or any other human characteristics. Preserve the intellectual, literary and cultural heritage of humanity for prosperity as resources for research and development. Provide reliable information to all citizens without any bias and prejudice. Facilitate advancement of culture in the community. Above mentioned functions of the library make it important institution for the development of the society. Now next point is the information and library. Information has remained the changing force in the society from the foundation of civilization to the modern society. It has played defining role in the evolution process. People from different fields of studies have tried to understand information with the background of their own area of expertise. Hence, there is no universal acceptability of meaning of information, but it can be better understood when it would be discussed with its associated terms, which are data, information, knowledge, and wisdom in a sequence. Let's discuss the concept of data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, their association with as well as their independent existence. In modern society, information is being considered a vital economic resource and backbone of the growth and development. People in different subject area required information on various subjects in different forms and with different emphasis, approaches and explanations. It applies in various way in day-to-day uses as well as in research and studies. For researchers, it can be considered as a thing, resource or a commodity that can be produced, purchased, replicate, distributed and communicated. Ultimately, it becomes factor or attributes in creating knowledge. Information is related concept. It gets created through processing and or analyzing data and further creates knowledge. Hence, data creates information, information creates knowledge, and knowledge creates wisdom. We may define information as the factual data, idea, and other knowledge emanating from any segment of society that are identified as being of value, sometimes gathered on the regular basis, organized in some fashion, transmitted to other, and used in some meaningful manner. In other words, we can say that information is a core value or entity gathered on a regular basis and collected in organized manner, have some accurate value and a part of distribution or transmission of the value. This value can be used for decision making. Information gets generated as a result of processing data of various human or cosmic activities, events, or incidents taking place purposefully or naturally. Human factors involve both individual and corporate bodies. The knowledge is organized statement of facts or ideas presenting a reasoned judgment, or an experimental result, which is transmitted to other through communication in some systematic form. Information becomes knowledge when it transmitted and shared with others. As we have studied above, data as a raw fact and figures, information assimilate the data and organize in a meaningful manner, and when this information widespread, distributed or shared among the people, though communication becomes knowledge. The knowledge can be viewed in a different way and can be categorized broadly a person and public knowledge. The personal knowledge is the knowledge of an individual which may be communicated to others through that individual only. The public knowledge is possessed collectively by the society. It is available for all the society in the form of information product and services. The Michael Polanyi had given two categories of knowledge as a tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. The tacit knowledge is a knowledge of an individual which may or which may not be expressed or shared, while explicit knowledge is that which is expressed to others orally in a recorded form or through any communication channel. Wisdom is the highest form of knowledge which can be acquired but not transferable. It is an individual traits or expertise acquired through application of sound knowledge, ability to see far ahead in future, and capability of selecting right things from the alternatives and taking right decision. After analysis of data, information, knowledge and wisdom, we can say that these concepts have a well established relationship. In this series of data possess least value while the wisdom is the highest one. Now next topic point is role of library in the development of modern society. The library and society is the interlinked and interdependable. In this the strong perception and realized truth that the development in the society is not possible without library. The society we live today has been termed as an information society, as maximum population is engaged in the professions where information and technologies are both raw as well as finished product of human efforts. The present stage of the society is the result of the collective intellectual human endeavor for centuries. The close observation of the socio-economic and cultural development of society may give us an idea about the role of information, knowledge and the library in shaping the modern society. The society has been segmented in three different phases of the development graph. This segmentation is based on the vocation and the profession of the population of the society. The first phase is known as agrarian society. The main occupation is agriculture. Maximum population of the society was engaged in cultivation, fishing and mining using muscular energy. The living standard of the mass was simple, hence their needs were also limited. Gradually, the population of society grew according to their needs increased. By the time people started to accumulate knowledge and apply them in improving their human lives. Then Second phase is called industrial society. As maximum population of the society become occupationally dependent on industry, the invention of different technology took place in the society because of the application of the information and knowledge. These inventions produce machines and equipment which replaced muscular energy with mechanical energy. Now, the society started to produce the goods and product based on the raw material produced. By agrarian activity, this phenomenon brought the industrial revolution and changed the dynamics of society. The large number of populations got engaged in the production houses. People acquired information and uses it as a resources in organizing and improving the production lines which brought industry in existence. The society moved from the agriculture occupation to industry based occupation. The third phase of society is being termed as information society. The human quest grows more and people put more effort in research and development. The information become the center of economic, political and cultural activities. Maximum population of the society got engaged in the occupation in which creation, distribution, use, integration and manipulation of information become significant and provides livelihood. The information become both raw as well as finished product of large number of human activities. By analyzing the growth of the society from agrarian to information society, we find that the backbone of the growth are information and knowledge. In the process of development, many institutions took shape to support this growth. Out of those institutions, the most important is the educational institutions. Initially, the educational institutions used to run in oral traditions where generation to generation knowledge is used to transfer orally. As the volume of knowledge grew and the human activity were getting institutionalized, people invented recording mechanism through writing and further invented printing technology for preservation and dissemination of information and knowledge. If we visualize the picture of the development of the society, then we find that the whole process has revolved around the information and knowledge. When the society invented the writing mechanism, the library came into existence. After that, the library became backbone of the development process. In changing context of the society, the role of library also changed dynamically. The library in a modern society is being considered as service agency. It organizes and facilitates the use of information and knowledge for the development of individual as well as the society. The Pierce Butler has stated in his introduction to library science that the basic element of librarianship consists of consist in the accumulation of knowledge by society and continuous transmission to the living generation. So far as these processes are performed through instrumentally of graphics record. Here the graphic records refers to the recorded information and knowledge as book, periodicals, audiovisual records, etc. Here the concept continuous transmission to the living generation gives library the status of service agency. Over the centuries, the library has also developed different models to serve the society. Presently, we have different types of library to cater a wide range of informational needs of the society. Broadly, we have three models of library, namely academic, public, special library. Apart from these three models or types of library, we have one unique type of, that is national library. We will discuss this type of library in next chapter, but altogether the libraries play a vital role in social, economic, political and cultural development of community and society. The role of library in education. The library and educational institutions are two faces of the same coin. One cannot survive without others. The meaning and purpose of education is completely supported by library. Library is often called as a hub of educational activities and heart of educational institution with which it is attached. The main objective of education are imparting knowledge, inculcation of values and creation of vocational skills. These three aims are being achieved by different models of education. In modern society, there are three models of education as formal education, non-formal education and informal education. Let us discuss formal education. The formal education system is such a system in which education is imparted through the contact of teacher and student in a school, college and university. In such a system, the student is to be educated or trained on the basis of certain curriculum for the certain period of time. After completion of the program within a stipulated time, students are assessed and accordingly a degree or a diploma is being awarded. In the system of education, the institution is supported with the library to acquire the knowledge on the subject as well as related subject of the student choice. In this context, library is playing the following roles. Libraries support the teaching and learning process at all level of education, that are school, college, university, technical or professional levels. Inculcate reading habits and acquire knowledge in the subject of pursuits, developing critical and analytical thinking and creating skills of self-studies, intellectual development of students to make one research from a simple reader. Non-formal education. Non-formal education is such a education system in which the person get educated without help of teacher or formal classes. In this system, students get enrolled with an academic institution for a certain educational program and complete it through self-studies. The library plays a major role in supporting educational pursuit. Such a student who is getting educational through this model. The public plays a major role in supporting non-formal education system and provides the access of a required source of books, periodicals, etc. Anyone of society has a rights of accessing the library services provided by public library. Hence, a student of non-formal educations completes his or her study easily with the help of public library. Sometimes the institutions provide non-formal educations also provides library services to support the students enrolled for such educational programs. The library plays following roles in non-formal education, such as support the educational programs in which student is involved, provide informational requirements needs for educational program, bridge the gap of the absence of the teachers, help in self-learning and create the researchers for student. These days, almost all the institutions of higher studies offer distance educational programs. In such programs, libraries play a role of both teacher as well as information resources. In this direction, public library is more important in this mode of education. Hence, the library system itself becomes teacher, guide and mentor to the student, getting educational through non-formal mode of education. Now, informal education. Informal education is such a mode of education in which a person get information and knowledge as per his or her requirement. It does not have a course curriculum or structure education program as afforded in informal and non-formal education. The informal education system could be for anything as illiterate learns the reading writing skills and become literate. Another example may be taken as professional gets knowledge and skills to complete their work from any other professional who have such a knowledge. Hence, informational education is having a wide range of coverage. The library satisfies the knowledge quest of an individual for professional, spiritual and recreational. It provides opportunity of lifelong self-learning to the member of society. The role of library in the information education can be listed as satisfy the knowledge requirement of an individual needed for personal, professional and educational development, creating reading habits among semi-illiterate or illiterate to create responsible citizen, keep semi-illiterate or illiterate person educated through library services. The role of library in research and development. The human activities in the modern society are based on creating and utilizing information and further convert them into economic resources. Hundreds and thousands of individuals, cooperative houses, government institutions are conducting research on science and technology as well as in social science and humanities. All these researchers needs in to obtain effective and fruitful results. Hence, the library provides supports to the research and development works of an individual as well as institutions. The role of library in research and development may be listed as keep the researcher up to date with the latest development in their field of research, helps in selecting the research topic as assisting in completion of result, organizing programs on the process and procedure of research and research methodology, provide information to avoid duplication of research, provide bibliography services for collecting and selecting study materials, convey rational outlooks and scientific knowledge to researchers, bridge the gap between researcher and experts of the field of research. The library attached to the institution which are conducting research program as well as equipped and stuffed with information resources need for research program of the institutions. The role of library in information dissemination. Every individual of society approaches a library for satisfying his or her informational needs. For this purpose, the library collects the information material required by the various sections of the society. With the help of library services, the library disseminates the information among the individuals of the society. Apart from this, the library organizes seminar, workshop, exhibition, and a lot of other programs which helps people in acquiring the knowledge and skills. With the help of formal and informal library services, the library disseminates information in the society, either stored in the library in the form of book, journal, periodicals, etc., or by organizing programs with the help of experts of different fields. The library does not disseminate information in the present society, but also preserve them as a dissemination in the future. Here you can take a screenshot regarding the horizontal information dissemination by level. In that we can see the Ministry of Education with the government agency as well as non-government agency, how the information is disseminated, as well as here we can see the local government to the local community, from the school and school management and local education office, how the information is disseminated by the level, and how the library is working in that horizontal information provided. Now we can see a role of the library in the promotion and development of culture. The library is one of the institutions which have a responsibility to preserve the culture heritage of society. It also preserves the artifacts, traditions, customs and history of the society and knowledge about own as well as other culture. Role of library in promotion and development of culture may be listed as: reading and thinking helps widen the intellectual horizon and develops creativity of an individual. The library enriches the culture of society through its activity, lectures, seminars, workshops, cultural programs, exhibition, etc. Preserve the cultural heritage of the nation, state, city, town, even village or panchayat. Educate people about local history as well as tradition. Organizing different cultural programs as exhibitions, dance, drama, concert of the different type of competition to save the cultural values and tradition. For example, activity like puppet show, poetry show, exhibition of craft and arts help in promoting the tradition and culture of the society. The role of library in recreation and leisure. The library provides opportunity to the people of the society to utilize their leisure time in the positive manner and creative directions. If a person having leisure time without any positive work, it is possible that the person may go negative and destructive. Hence, the library has an important role to provide positive directions to such a person through books, periodicals, and popular magazines, as well as organized programs to keep them in positive spirit. For this purpose, the library stocks functions, novels, other form of literatures, work of the art, and other materials which have recreational value. The culture program organized by the library also keeps engaged such people and makes society healthy. Role of library in moral and ideological and spiritual development. Based on the content of book have been divided into three categories: inspiratory, informatory, and recreatory. The book pertaining to religious, philosophy, and related fields which lift the human spirit, poetry, drama, and fiction falls under inspiratory category. The book pertaining to biography, history, travel science, useful arts and sociology falls under informatory category. The books related to fiction, drama, poetry, humor, essay and light reading materials in various fields are considered as recreatory books. Hence, a library plays a positive role in shaping the moral values, ideology, and spiritual value of an individual through the inspiratory materials. The concept of Trinity documents staff and user and their internal relationship. The Ranganathan, a father of library and information science in India, introduced the concept of trinity in library. He said that a library is a trinity made up of book, reader and staff. According to this concept, the library having three interdependent components which make it a social institution. Those components are books, reader and staff. The book is a representative of all the materials which provide information and knowledge to the people. These materials may be book, magazine, journals, periodicals, map, charts, artifacts, audiovisual material, etc. The reader refers to the member of the community or society who are directly or indirectly dependent on library for their quest knowledge. The reader group depend upon the nature of community a library is serving. For example, a student, teachers, researchers are the readers for an academic library, but for a public library reader may be any one of the societies without any distinction or scrutiny. The researcher and the scholar are the readers for the special library. Hence, for the library, reader is the client who the library meant for. The staff of the library is the link between user and the book. They play a decisive role in establishing context between the information source and the reader. Without the effort of the staff, it is very difficult for reader to get right information, especially at the right time.